17 in the NFL. And I hope you all had a good Christmas, or at least a decent one. I did until I watched my team on Netflix. Dak was 19 of 37 for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 6 times. Malik Davis had 20 carries for 103 yards, no touchdowns. Cavante Turpin had 1 catch for 86 yards and a touchdown. Josh Johnson was 15 of 23 for 198 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. And Traylon Burks had a bunch of goose eggs. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt had 11 carries for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Deebo Samuel had 2 catches for 68 yards and no touchdowns. For the final score, 30-23, Dallas. Goff was 18 of 29. Oh, we picked Detroit. We got it wrong. Goff was 18 of 29 for 197 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was sacked 5 times. Jahmyr Gibbs had 17 carries for 41 yards. No touchdowns. And St. Brown had 8 catches for 68 yards. No touchdowns. Max Prosper was 9 for 16 for 51 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 7 times. Jordan Addison had 1 carry for 65 yards and a touchdown. And Justin Jefferson had 4 catches for 30 yards. No touchdowns. For the final score, 23-10, Vikings. We had the Broncos at the Chiefs. We picked the Chiefs and we were right. Bo Nix was 26 of 38 for 182 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked 1 time. R.J. Harvey had 14 carries for 43 yards, no touchdowns. And Cortland Sutton had 4 catches for 40 yards, no touchdowns. Chris Oladokun was 13 of 22 for 66 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He was sacked once. Kareem Hunt had 7 carries for 38 yards, no touchdowns. And Travis Kelce had 5 catches for 36 yards, no touchdowns. For the final score of 20-13, Denver. Alright, Saturday we had 2 games. We had the Texans at the Chargers. And we picked the Texans, and we were right. I do believe with this win, they clinched a playoff spot. And I think the AFC is coming down to 1 more spot, which would be the AFC North. But anyway, CJ Stroud was 16 of 28 for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Woody Marks had 19 carries for 71 yards, no touchdowns. And Jaden Higgins had 2 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. Justin Herbert was 21 of 32 for 236 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked 5 times. He was also their leading rusher with 6 carries for 37 yards, no touchdowns. And Quentin Johnston had 5 catches for 98 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 20-16, Houston. Saturday night we had the Ravens at the Packers. 107 yards. 1 touchdown, no picks. He was sacked once. Derrick Henry had 36 carries for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns. Zay Flowers finally didn't drop a ball. He had 4 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. Malik Willis was 18 of 21 for 288 yards. 1 touchdown, no picks. He was sacked once. He did leave briefly, and Clayton Tune came in. And he went 1 of 4 for 8 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked once. Malik Willis was also their leading rusher, with 9 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson had 5 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown, for a final score of 41-24, Baltimore. The Cardinals at the Bengals. We picked the Bengals and we were right. Jacoby Brissett was 21 of 37 for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 4 times. Michael Carter had 7 carries for 29 yards, no touchdowns. And Michael Wilson had 5 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. Joe Burrow was 24 of 31 for 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. Then Flacco came in, went 3 for 5 for 24 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. Chase Brown had 22 carries for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jamar Chase had 7 catches for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns, for the final score 37-14, Cincinnati. The Jags at the Colts. We picked the Jags, and we were right. Trevor Lawrence was 23 of 37 for 263 yards. No touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Travis Etienne Jr. had 17 carries for 76 yards. No touchdowns. And Parker Washington had 8 catches for 115 yards. No touchdowns. Phillip Rivers was 17 of 30 for 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Jonathan Taylor had 21 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. And Tyler Warren had 5 catches for 43 yards, no touchdowns, for the final score 23-17, Jacksonville. The Patriots at the Jets. We picked the Patriots and we were right. Who saw that coming? Your MVP, Drake May, was 19 of 21 for 256 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. Then Josh Dobbs came in, went 3 for 4 for 30 yards, and nothing else. Travion Henderson had 19 carries for 82 yards, no touchdowns. And Stephon Diggs had 6 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. Brady Cook went 19 of 33 for 152 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked once. Austin McNamara came in, and he went 1 for 1 for 3 yards, nothing else. Breece Hall had 14 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. And John Mechie III had 3 catches for 41 yards, no touchdowns, for the final score 42-10, New England. We had the Saints at the Titans. 22 of 27 for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Audric Estime had 14 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. And Chris Olave had 8 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. Cam Ward was 21 of 40 for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 4 times. Tony Pollard had 18 carries for 85 yards, no touchdowns. And Jig Okonkwo had 3 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. For the final score, 34-26, Saints. Steelers at the Browns. We picked the Steelers, and we were wrong. Rodgers was 21 of 39 for 168 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 2 times, and my cat is eating in the background. Jaylen Warren had 12 carries for 64 yards, no touchdowns. And Pat Freiermuth had 3 catches for 63 yards, no touchdowns. It seemed like Pittsburgh was more worried about not being on the other end of the sack record instead of winning. Shedeur was 17 of 23 for 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was sacked twice. Dylan Sampson had 11 carries for 27 yards, no touchdowns. And Jerry Jeudy had 5 catches for 54 yards, no touchdowns. For the final score, 13-6, Cleveland. The Seahawks at the Panthers. We picked the Seahawks, and we were right. Sam Darnold was 18 of 27 for 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked 3 times. Zach Charbonnet had 18 carries for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jackson Smith and Jigba had 9 catches for 72 yards, no touchdowns. Bryce Young was 14 of 24 for 54 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Rico Dowdle had 12 carries for 59 yards, no touchdowns. And Jalen Coker had 2 catches for 16 yards, no touchdowns. For the final score, 27-10, Seattle. The Bucks at the Dolphins. We picked the Bucks, and we were wrong. Baker was 33 of 44 for 346 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked 3 times. Bucky Irving had 9 carries for 19 yards, no touchdowns. And Jalen McMillan had 7 catches for 114 yards, no touchdowns. Quinn Ewers was 14 of 22 for 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Devon Achane had 18 carries for 83 yards, no touchdowns. And Theo Weiss Jr. had 1 catch for 63 yards and a touchdown. Final score 20-17, Miami for the Battle of Florida. The Giants at the Raiders. We picked the Giants, and we were right. Jackson Dart was 22 of 30 for 207 yards. No touchdown, no picks. He was sacked twice. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 14 carries for 62 yards, no touchdowns. And Wan'Dale Robinson had 11 catches for 113 yards, no touchdowns. Gino was 20 of 28 for 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was sacked 3 times. Kenny Pickett came in and he was 2 for 2 for 16 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. Ashton Genty had 16 carries for 60 yards, no touchdowns. catches for 89 yards, no touchdowns. For the final score, 34-10, Giants. The Eagles at the Bills. We picked the Bills, and we were wrong. Jalen Hurts was 13 of 27 for 110 yards, one touchdown, no picks. He was sacked once. Saquon had 19 carries for 68 yards, no touchdowns. And A.J. Brown had 5 catches for 68 yards, no touchdowns. Josh Allen was 23 of 35 for 262 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 5 times. James Cook III had 20 carries for 74 yards, no touchdowns. And Brandon Cooks had 4 catches for 101 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 13-12 because Buffalo went for 2 at the end of the game. Philly wins. The Bears at the Niners. We picked the Niners and we were right. Caleb Williams was 25 of 42 for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. DeAndre Swift had 9 carries for 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Luther Burden III, 8 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown. Brock Purdy was 24 of 33 for 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked once. McCaffrey had 23 carries for 140 yards and a touchdown. And Ricky Pearsall had 5 catches for 85 yards, no touchdowns. For the final score, 42-38, San Francisco. Monday night, we had the Rams. At the Falcons, we picked the Rams. And we were wrong. Who saw that coming? Stafford was 22 of 38 for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. One of those was a pick 6, and he was sacked 3 times. Kyren Williams had 13 carries for 92 yards, no touchdowns. And Xavier Smith had 4 catches for 67 yards, no touchdowns. Kirk Cousins was 13 of 20 for 126 yards, 1 touchdown. No picks, no sacks. Bijan Robinson had 22 carries for 195 yards and a touchdown. And David Sills V had 3 catches for 37 yards, no touchdowns. And that will do it for week 17. We're going to jump over and look at the current playoff bracket. Nothing really changed except the Panthers. With the Falcons winning, it does put the Panthers currently in 4th place instead of Tampa. But it is still the Niners, the Bears, the Eagles, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Packers, with the Bucks on the outside looking in for the NFC. For the AFC, nothing changed. It's still the Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Ravens, Texans, Bills, Chargers, Steelers on the outside looking in. Now, let's make our final regular season picks. Carolina at Tampa, Saturday afternoon. I'm actually going to pick Carolina. Saturday night, Seattle at the Niners for the number 1 seed. And I am going to actually pick San Francisco. Kind of wild, I know. With the battle for Ohio, I'm going to pick the Bengals. Dallas at New York. I'll take the Cowboys. Green Bay at Minnesota. I think Green Bay is resting their players. So I'll take Minnesota. The Colts at the Texans. I'll take the Texans. Saints at the Falcons. I'm going to take Atlanta. The Titans at the Jags. I'm going to take the Jags. Arizona at Los Angeles. I'm going to take the Rams. My Lions at the Bears. I think this game determines whether or not Chicago is the 2 seed or the 3 seed. I could be wrong. I'm going to take my Lions, but I don't feel confident about it. The Chiefs at the Raiders. I'll take the Chiefs. The Chargers at the Broncos. That should be a good one, but I'm going to take Denver. The Dolphins at the Patriots. I'll take the Patriots. The Jets at the Bills. I'll take the Bills. Washington at Philly. Sunday afternoon. I'll take Philly. And Sunday night. I don't know why these two teams got put in Sunday night and not the Seahawks and Niners. Probably because that's West Coast. But anyway, Baltimore at Pittsburgh for the division and playoffs. And maybe the coach's job, but I am going to take Baltimore. And that's going to wrap up our Week 17 recap and our Week 18 picks. Thank you so much for watching or listening. I hope you got some well-needed rest or relaxation. And I'll see you in the next one.